Hello, welcome back to youtube.com/snapbolt. I got a modern preliminary for you today, not a modern league, modern prelim, and I'm going to be running this Ponza deck splashing Stoneforge. Uh, I know some of the guys I think at the Lotus Box are playing a similar deck to this. I kind of brewed this up on my own, but the list is I think very similar to theirs. I think they just have like Pillage main and I'm not even sure the exact differences, but it's basically just Ponza, and then you splash Stoneforge, which can get Sword of Feast and Famine, Batterskull, or Embercleave, which is pretty sick. And then other than that, the deck's pretty much the same. I'm not running the Pillages in the main, just because I think they can be weak in certain matchups, but you have the Maguses of the Moon, Seasoned Pyromancer, Bloodbraid Elf, Arbor Elf, Utopia Sprawl, kind of acceleration, and then Bolt, some Bone Crusher Giants, which I haven't actually tried these out yet, but they seem pretty sweet. Plus, if you Bloodbraid Elf into Bone Crusher, you can Stomp. I ran this deck through a league a couple days ago and recorded, and I started out 0-3, and then ended up 2-3 actually, but right after that league, I played another league and just 5-0'd it, which I was not recording. I think this deck is very strong. Made some changes to the sideboard, so hopefully that goes well. But there's really not much else different. Running a couple Arid Mesas. I went down to 1 Clothis from 2 just because I was always sideboarding like them out when I was bringing in Rest in Peace, so it was a little awkward with Rip, but this card is pretty decent. It maybe could be 2 in the main as well, but I'm trying. I don't know why it's saying it's not in my collection. I think it is. But without further ado, let's go into round 1. Looks like it just started. All right, looks like we're on the draw here. Just gonna keep this hand. We have a turn 1 Elf, turn 2 another Mana Dork plus Stomp, or just T2 Bone Crusher Giant if we want to take that route, depending on what we're up against. So this hand seems fine. One nice thing about Bone Crusher Giant, it gives you like another 2-drop to play. Alright, Snow-Covered Island, Astrolabe. So we have a lot of sideboard for this matchup. We have 3 Chokes, we have a Boil, we have a Chandra Awakened Inferno. Not exactly sure what version it's going to be on, but he is going to have a lot of islands for sure. Now I think I just get basic Forest and play an Arbor Elf. That way if I draw Utopia Sprawl, it sets us up the best. We don't take damage. I think our mana is going to be fine. We can always fetch a Stomping Ground next turn. If he doesn't do anything, might just run out 2 more Dorks. Or I guess I could just play Seasoned Pyromancer. That's probably better. I could like play Seasoned Pyromancer, discard Bird, Bone Crusher Giant. Then I'm making 4 power over 3 bodies, drawing 2 cards, discarding these. I think that might be best. I'm going to start by fetching a Stomping Ground. I guess I could discard Arbor Elf, Bone Crusher Giant. I think that's better. Yeah, let's do it. I gotta get Stomping Ground because Arbor Elf can only untap forests. So fetch Shock. Let's go red, green, untap. And then try to play a Seasoned Pyromancer. Could run out like more mana, but I think playing this and applying pressure, we're going to draw cards, so hopefully we draw mana. Seems good to me. If this gets countered, we might just be able to draw another land in Bloodbraid Elf anyway. Otherwise, we have good plays lined up next turn with all these cards. Just going to get mana leaked. Deprive. Okay, I mean, you had to bounce a land for that. I'm fine with that. Like, our hand is very good, so him depriving bouncing a land is fine. Alright, we know he has a Snow-Covered Island in hand. And we drew land. Alright, just gonna Bloodbraid. I think I'm gonna shock and get Sacred Foundry here. I could also just get basic plains. But I kind of do want double red, so let's do it. Yes. Then red, red, green, and untap and play Bloodbraid Elf. Cascade. Seasoned Pyromancer is a good one. Now I might just discard both of my dorks. I don't need that much more mana. And keeping all this gas seems good to me. Yeah, I think I don't really need I don't think I need these dorks. I'll probably just draw lands on this anyway. Yep, drew land dork, made a bunch of guys, and I can attack for 3. We're in a really good spot here. This might get like fatal pushed. Let's see. Nope. Or, I mean, I guess it still can. He has Astrolabe out. Oh, Coddle. Has Death Touch. Don't have Bolt Up. Which is a little unfortunate. He gets to pay 2 mana, kill my Bloodbraid Elf, draw a card, but I mean, the Bloodbraid also cascaded into Seasoned Pyromancer. So, it's kind of an even trade there. It's got 7 cards. One of them's a Snow-Covered Island. We have very good sideboard for this matchup. We could have Archmage Charm here. I'd be surprised if he did not have that. So let's see. I think I want to just start by attacking for 4. Not going to attack with Arbor Elf. He probably can't respond to this. Oh. Path the Seasoned Pyromancer. I mean, I'm fine with that. Yep. I think I'll just get another forest, I suppose. And then I'll go green, enchant this forest, and I'll name red. And then I'll play Windswept Heath. And I think I'm going to start just by stomping him and then playing a Bone Crusher Giant. Stomp, target you. That resolved, okay. Now I'll just untap, play Bone Crusher Giant, and then play Arbor Elf. Don't need to play around Wrath or anything. Cast Bone Crusher Giant. And then fetch. Guess I just get another forest. Could have played this a little differently and gotten plains, and then I don't think it should matter though. Next turn we can activate Seasoned Pyromancer from the graveyard if we want. He's at 14. We have a decent board, but he's got a lot of cards in hand as well. Mystic Sanctuary, target Deprive, okay. The thing is, we're so far ahead on board, we don't really need to cast spells right here. And can't counter that. Okay, well, Stoneforge, you can counter. Let's see, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, and then up to 10 mana. Don't really want to cast Stoneforge. Let's see, 6. The thing is, if I let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'll just attack for 7, because that puts lethal on board, not even counting this bolt. And then if he has to play a spell, then I could potentially cast Stoneforge Mystic. Could also just attack for 6, keeping all my mana. But I don't want to play Stoneforge right now. Yeah, exactly, because now he goes Cryptic Tap, and now I can resolve Stoneforge. Which is exactly where I want to be. I don't get to make more mana with my Arbor Elves, but there's nothing I can do about that. Oh, there is actually something I can do about that. Because now I can add a bunch of mana, tapping my Arbor Elves. So I can go like this. Because these are going to get tapped anyway. Untap. Then tap. untap, and tap, and then activate Seasoned Pyromancer right now. Oh, I should have let Cryptic resolve. I don't think that matters. And then go to my second main, and then play Stoneforge Mystic. Not sure what I want to get here. I could get Ember Cleave just to get him dead. We know he has Deprive in hand. If I could just get Sword of Feast and Famine and cast it. But then that could also get Force Negationed. I don't think I need a Batter Skull. I'm just going to get Ember Cleave. I think that does the most damage. And I'll just plan on violating in with Stoneforge. We're still looking to be in a great spot here. He has to have like a chain of Cryptics here to get out of this, I think. When this enters the battlefield, we get to attach it to a creature we control. So we can just violate in with Stoneforge, even if we only attack with like a creature or two. Or we can just cast it for red. Because, I mean, we're basically going to be attacking with everything. These should technically be untapped, because I should have let the Cryptic resolve, but I think that's irrelevant. We have the Bolt up. Got a huge board. I don't think they have any Wraths. Jace. Yep, that's fine. Is he going to bounce? He's just going to Brainstorm. Sure. I wonder if he's going to go land, leave up Path to try to stop our Embercleave. In which case we could put Embercleave on a non-Bone Crusher Giant creature. See what he does. And if he's just playing Jace into this board, he's kind of in trouble. If he doesn't play untapped land, leaving up Path, then I just get to straight kill him. Wondering if I should bolt Jace. Might just be the safest line. Because I have to get this off the battlefield anyway. I don't know if I need to save this bolt. He must have a path for this Embercleave. And then I just get to attack him with everything. I'm going to do it. Not sure if that's right. So I want to attack him anyway. There's Stomping Ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't want my Embercleave to get forced anyway, so I should probably just activate Stoneforge. And then probably equip a non-Bone Crusher Giant creature with it, like an Elemental. Because then that at least gets separates my threats a little bit better. And if he has Path on Bone Crusher Giant, which I feel like he must have, it's not good for me. So I just want to double check that I'm reading this right. It's just going to attach, yeah. Let's just activate now. Put in Embercleave, trigger, attach to an Elemental, and then attack with everything. And then if he paths like this Elemental, which I mean I think he's still just going to path Bone Crusher Giant. So again, the reason why I activated Stoneforge is because I didn't want Embercleave to get Force Negation. So now we're hitting for 8, 9, 10, 13 damage, so he can't crack Flooded Strand if he doesn't have... He's going to 1 right now. So maybe just going for the win would have been better. No, he has the path, so we made the right play. I think... Oh, he's going to put Cryptic on top. Yep, that's not bad. and then cast Path. Targeting Bone Crusher. Oh, targeting that elemental? Wow, that seems way worse. Because now I can just equip again. I mean, he's gonna Cryptic Tap anyway, but use Path's ability, yes. Suppose I get Plains. Hit for a lot of damage. He has to Cryptic on his next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's only equipped 3. I just haven't played with this card much, so forgive me. So, drink to pay 2 life, no. Then 3 mana. I think I just equip another elemental. I can always equip again next turn. I think getting Sword of Feast and Famine there is not as good as getting Embercleave. He's got 4 cards in hand. One of them's a Cryptic. Wait, yeah, because he got Mystic Sanctuary, put it on top. We have no cards left, but he's at 4, so he has to tap draw here. Magus. Alright, I think I'd just start by attacking with all. Just gonna get Cryptic tapped, and then I get to play Magus. I guess, oh, he also has Deprive in hand, which we know about. So he can Cryptic and Deprive this. Which is annoying. Could just not cast Magus. Return target permanent. Tap all creatures. Okay. So he can basically lock us this way. Because now he plays Mystic Sanctuary, puts Cryptic back on top. But I guess he doesn't have a Cryptic in hand right now, so he has to be able to draw a card. Let's go to attacks. Gonna do it again. Oh, Coddle. Oh, so he can draw Cryptic. Okay. I get to resolve these Maguses, so then that'll stop the Mystic Sanctuary shenanigans. He's gonna go tap bounce, and then I'm gonna resolve double Magus. Tap draw. Okay, because he has to get out of this somehow, I guess. No reason to add any mana. Just go to my second main phase and play 2 Maguses. Magus, and another Magus. Pass the turn. His mana is fine, just it's nice that he can't use Mystic Sanctuary anymore. It's going to be tough for him to get out of it now. Still just most likely going to leave the Embercleave here. I could put it on a Magus, but can also just not attack with Magus. I suppose his deck could have Supreme Verdict as well. Draw 2. I don't think I really have the luxury of playing around Verdict, though. They don't usually have it main. I don't want to play around Verdict too hard and then just have him be able to survive some other way. Plus, he can't even cast Verdict right now. And games 2 and 3 just, I feel like, are so good for us. We have Chandra, Awakened Inferno, Triple Choke, Boil. I think that's it. That's a lot. We also can bring in like 2 Rest in Peace, which I think we do. Just because of Mystic Sanctuary and Uro. So bring in all these. Magus, like, while it's okay against Mystic Sanctuary, they just have too many basics. I just don't think we want that. He seems to be pretty control heavy. Can side out a couple bolts. Clothis is bad with Rest in Peace, but it's good otherwise. Could side it out just to be safe. Just because we're bringing the Rest in Pieces. Let's see how this curve looks. I think this looks good. I don't think I need Knight of Autumn to kill like Astrolabe or anything. It still is a 4-3, but I think I'm going to win just by a choke or boil. Or Chandra. Not by these other things. Yeah, I like it like this. Let's go. Deck looks good. Triple choke, boil against like an all island deck. That's exactly where you want to be. Snap this off. Can Windswept Heath for Sacred Foundry. Probably going to have to, even though I guess we can't really cast Seasoned Pyromancer yet, but we have a lot of draws that enable us to cast that. Arbor Elf go. We can just be on the Stoneforge Mystic play in this game. We have plenty of time for these Seasoned Pyros. Temple Garden, Island, go. Okay, wow, Utopia Sprawl. So what's the safest way here to make sure I don't get disrupted? Because you could have Mana Leak or Remand. So if I lead Snow-Covered Forest and I get Mana Leaked, then I can't cast any spells. But if I lead Windswept Heath and crack it, I could just lead Windswept. This is kind of interesting. Forest is nice because if I go play Forest and then Utopia Sprawl name white, then I can play Stoneforge Mystic and another Stoneforge Mystic, which seems really good. If I play Windswept Heath, the problem is I can't get red-white, but I could get red-green. But then I still have the problem of if I get red-green and then Utopia Sprawl gets countered, then I can't cast Stoneforge Mystic still. This is actually tougher than it like should be. I'm just trying to decide what the best line is against a counterspell. Just gonna take my time here, so I can go fetch, either get Sacred Foundry or if I get Stomping Ground and then Utopia Sprawl gets countered, then I also just can't do anything this turn. If I fetch and get green-white, then I also have to name white, so that doesn't make sense. I feel like he's gonna counter Utopia Sprawl if I take this line. I think I'm gonna play it safe and just go play Windswept Heath. Gonna play Windswept Heath regardless here. Do you want to get a red source with this? Guess I'll settle for just playing one Stoneforge Mystic this turn. So I'm gonna go Utopia Sprawl here. I'm gonna name white. If this gets countered, I can still cast a Stoneforge Mystic. Which is why I'm doing it this way, because if I just played like Forest Utopia Sprawl that gets countered, I just literally can't do anything this turn. And if I go Windswept Heath, crack for Stomping Ground, play Utopia Sprawl, then I still can't do anything this turn. Okay. So he is just playing Caudal now. I guess he could be looking for Force Negation. This gets forced, that's fine. Yeah, see, force and negation. So we took the right line, because now we just let force resolve. Then we fetch Windswept. We just... I was going to say we get red-white. But the problem with that is we still can't cast Seasoned Pyromancer, but we can still cast Stoneforge. So we do this, and then we untap this, and then cast Stoneforge Mystic, which is why Stoneforge is so good in the deck. Because normally when you get disrupted like that, and you can't cast your 3-drop on turn 2, you can't do anything. But now with Stoneforge, you have a really powerful 2-drop that you're able to use. I think I might even get Sword of Feast and Famine. That puts so much pressure on him. I think that's better than Batterskull because it makes his Coddles not be able to block. Sure. I'm happy with how we played that turn. Just thinking about it carefully and not rushing and just really taking our time when it matters. There's a Temple Garden. Interesting. So we still actually can't cast Seasoned Pyromancer because we can't use Arbor Elf to untap Sacred Foundry. But what we can do is we can lead on just casting another Stoneforge. Just snap resolved. Wonder if he has another force of negation. Yes. I think I get Batterskull now. I think that's safer. Get Batterskull. Play Temple Garden untapped. Yes. Pass the turn. Now I can plan on Viling and Batterskull. Or Sword. So this is looking good. Yeah, definitely not. He's definitely not going to attack. White. Activate Stoneforge. I think I'm just putting in Batterskull. And again, I don't want to cast this because I don't want it to get countered. I think I'll put in a land, and then I'll just Violent Sword right now. Violent Sword. Wait, whoa. See, exactly, I don't want to misclick. Put an equipment from our hand onto the battlefield. Put in Sword. I'll equip Sword to Stoneforge Mystic. I could equip to Germ. I'll equip to Stoneforge. Just again, separating our threats. Seems good. Then I'm deciding if I want to attack with Germ as well as Stoneforge Mystic. I guess I could get tapped here by Cryptic. Nope. Because do I want to trade this for this? I think that's fine. I can just bounce Batterskull, replay it, or I can just equip it to something. I think most likely he doesn't want to let us hit with Sword of Feast and Famine. The Germ is not as relevant. The life gain doesn't really matter. The 4 damage isn't as relevant as the trigger. Cryptic Bounce. Archmage Charm, he draws 2 looking for Path. Wow. That resolves. If that's his line, we're in a great spot in this game. He blocks the Germ, sure. I get to play Bird, which will allow us to unlock Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, he has Path. I can get Mountain. Sure. Which is exactly why I equip Stoneforge rather than equipping Germ. So I get Mountain. Germ dies. We still have another Stoneforge. And then I just play Bird. And I like our position here. Like, I can reset this Batterskull whenever I want. I have a lot of mana. I have 2 really threatening equipments out with some dorks. And he casts Archmage Charm to draw last turn, so most likely his hand's not perfect. Is this Uro? No. Timely Reinforcements. Sure. The good news is against that I can equip Bird here with Sword of Feast and Famine. Okay, let's play Wooded Foothills. And I think I want to do that. I don't need to go crazy like equipping Batterskull, but I can just start by equipping Sword of Feast and Famine. Wonder if it is better to equip. No, I don't think that can be right. So I'll hit. See if we get the trigger. If we do, I'm going to make a cool play here. Nice, looks like we're going to get it. So I'm going to respond to the trigger. So I'm going to fetch. I'm going to get Stomping Ground. Pay 2 life. Yes. And then I'm going to hold priority. I don't even need to hold priority, I guess. I can just bounce Batterskull. Actually, I do. Yeah. So now I'm going to just go like this. Bounce Batterskull. And then I'm going to activate Stoneforge Mystic right now, putting Batterskull into play. And then untap all my lands and play some Seasoned Pyromancers. So we're just in a great spot. I guess I can only play 1 because I'm going to have to discard the other one, but I get to draw 2 cards. And I can leave up 3 mana for Batterskull activation here. Oh, so close to being able to boil. But we still have that in our back pocket, and this is an instant, so I can't cast it. I only have 3 mana, and no reason to play out Arbor Elf here. We're just in such a commanding position. Mystic Sanctuary returning Archmage Charm. Sure, so he can gain control of Birds of Paradise here. That's fine. It'll just give me a window to resolve this boil. Probably just going to gain control of this. If that's his line, I'm just in, again, I'm in such a good spot. I guess it'll allow him to start blocking this sword, but oh, he's just drawing 2 cards? Sure. I can also just return Batterskull to my hand again whenever I want. I really took my time in this game, and I liked the lines I've taken. Steam Vents, okay. Interesting. Wonder if he has another Archmage Charm. Could gain control of Bird before it hits him, but then I just get to boil him and win, so let's just go to our turn. Utopia Sprawl. I'm just going to go to combat. Attack with a bunch of stuff. See what happens. Is this going to get Archmage Charmed? No, he's just blocking stuff. Alright, I guess I can just Seasoned Pyromancer in response to this trigger. I'm not going to boil now because I'm going to hope he casts something on end step and then I can resolve it. Get to untap my lands. He has to discard a card. And I'll just pass the turn. Again, if he plays a spell right now, which I'm expecting him to, then I just get to boil. Yeah. So I'll just boil right now. This card is so sick. Thought about going up to 2 boil in the sideboard. We just killed 5 lands with that boil. And he takes his turn. Sure. Coddle can't even block this bird because it has pro green from the sword. I originally, when I started this list, he said Night Deck versus Spant Control. Yeah, good matchup. Thanks. GL in the future. This is a really good matchup for us. I just have so much hate coming out of the board, and game 1's not even that bad. Oh, he just drew a Supreme Verdict now. Yeah, I was scared of that in game 1. Yeah, thought he could have that, but luckily we didn't get verdicted. But if he verdicted us this game, I think we would have been fine. Just because we have Arbor Elf in hand, we have these equipment. There was a lot we could do. So GG's 1-0. I'll see you in round 2. All right, welcome round 2. We're 1-0 in this modern preliminary with Stoneforge Mystic Ponza. Gonna mull this hand. Yeah, we can cast these bolts, but that's about all we can do. Not gonna be good enough. We're against Ian is rad. Ian. And let's see what we're up against. Opponent's on the play. Definitely gonna mull here. Just can't keep Mountain Triple Bolt. This is not burn. Cannot keep that. Alright. He kept 7. We mull. This hand could be a keep on the draw. We only have 1 land, but we can put back an Embercleave. And then, as long as our Elf doesn't die, we're in a decent spot. Because we can T2 Stoneforge, and if we draw a land, we can T2 Magus. I'm actually going to keep this. It's a little bit sketchy, but I don't think you necessarily want to mulligan that low. And, okay, it looks like we're against Infect. Inkmoth Nexus, go. Maybe we're not. That's such an interesting start if it is Infect. Nice, that was a great draw. Great draw. Just going to lead on Stomping Ground. Arbor Elf. Because if he goes like another Inkmoth Nexus or something, I can just T2 Magus. I can also Stoneforge Mystic plus Bolt next turn, depending on what he does. Is this like a Blighted Agent? Yeah. Alright, so I'm definitely going to go Stoneforge plus Bolt. I mean, he didn't have a forest, actually. So now that I think about it, going T2 Magus and then playing Bolt seems really good, because then, like, what can he do? He's not going to have any forests. And then, worst case, he goes like Forest Scale Up, hit for 6. That's... Unless he goes like Forest Scale Up, double Mutagenic, but I think our best line is to just T2 Magus here. I guess I can also just... Oh yeah, because I can get Plains and still T2 Magus, because we have Stomping Ground. So drawing 2 lands in a row was ideal. So we're going to get Plains and then play Magus of the Moon. Red, white, sure, green, Magus. Drawing Forest was really good there too. Can't even force a negation of Magus of the Moon because it's a creature. I do like Blood Moon generally, but I think Magus is better positioned right now. So now we're probably just taking 1, and then next turn we can just Bolt that. Plus Stoneforge Mystic, I suppose. We're in a really good spot here. Just because Magus should lock him out. This is not the easiest matchup though. Luckily, I'm playing the version of this deck where you have 4 Bolt and 2 Bonecrush Giant. So that gives us a lot more interaction, but most likely he's just not going to cast another spell for the rest of the game. We can just Bolt this. So again, we're in a really good spot. Oh, Dismember Magus of the Moon? Maybe not. Wow. I didn't think people usually play that. That sucks. Just thought we were going to cruise to easy victory, and then we get dismembered. That being said, we're still in an okay spot because we have Bolt and Stoneforge. So, scale up. Wow. This is just brutal. We just got like unbelievably punished. Alright, well, now I just probably have to go Stoneforge. And I have to get Embercleave, I suppose. Getting Batterskull I don't think really does anything. I think Embercleave is better in this situation. I could attack for 1. I think I could also just Bolt this now, but then I might lose to pump spells on his Inkmoth Nexus. So I think I'm just going to attack for 1 with Arbor Elf and leave up Bolt. Man, I cannot believe that Dismember. He probably has 1 in the deck. I just really thought there was no spells he could cast. So next turn, we can either Violent a Sword of Feast and Famine or an Embercleave. I guess depending on what we draw and what else we have. We can't cast Embercleave, but we can Violent in with Stoneforge. God. Dismember. Just got wrecked. Might of Old Karoja. Alright, well I have to kill that right now. Which is exactly why we didn't Bolt on our turn. Because if we just bolted Blighted Agent on our turn, then he just goes to activate Inkmoth Nexus, Might of Old Karoja to kill you. But now we can only hit for 1. We still are likely going to need another removal spell. Arid Mesa. So I think, unfortunately, all I can do is let's see, I can Violin, Sword of Feast and Famine, equip it, attack, untap my lands, pass. That's all I can do. I guess I don't need to fetch shock. No, I don't think it matters. Might as well. Just get another Stomping Ground. I mean, I feel like if he has another pump spell, he's going to use it. Because the problem is we're putting on a fair amount of pressure. So if he doesn't, like, if he has it, he's kind of forced into going for it. Because we're putting on a lot of pressure here. So we get to untap our lands. And then pass the turn. And next turn we get to... Can we kill him next turn? Yeah, I think we can, but we're probably dead here. He discards Distortion Strike. Does he have another Might of Old Karoja? Doesn't look like it. Because next turn we can go attack with both, cast Embercleave. Groundswell for +2/+2. Yep, got us. Cannot believe that dismember. Wow. It's interesting. I may want pillage. Night of Autumn unfortunately does not kill Inkmoth Nexus. Rest in Peace doesn't do anything. Choke and Boil I don't think actually do that much. I think Pillage is good though. We definitely want Bone Crusher. Glorybringer might be a little too slow, although I think it's decent. I think Clothis is a little too slow. Batterstall's not great, but I still want it in the deck for sure. Chandra at least comes down and kills something. Can just take out 2 Glorybringers and Clothis. Glorybringer comes down and kills something too though, and it can kill him pretty fast. Is there any other card I could side out like a Seasoned Pyromancer over Glorybringer? Although this provides good blockers. Don't really want to side out a land or a Mana Dork either. Glorybringer does seem worse than Bloodbraid Elf in general. Could also not bring in all the pillages, but I think killing Inkmoth is so important, or mana scrolling them, especially we're going to be on the play here. I think pillage is actually decent in this matchup. We just want to be interacting early and as often as possible in this matchup, because we'll win the long game. I don't think we necessarily need the Glorybringers. This hand's just too slow. We just don't have any interaction. We don't have any acceleration after mulligan. Same thing with this hand. I mean, in this matchup, we literally cannot just keep a turn 3 Magus. Like that's just straight up not going to do it. I'm going to go to 5. The quantity of cards I don't think matters as much as in this matchup as like having a really good draw, like a T2 Magus or a T2 Pillage. Because right now we just don't do anything. We got to go to 5. All right, this will keep. Put back this bad art of Bloodbraid Elf. And maybe this other Bloodbraid Elf too. Yeah, just because it costs 4 mana. It is good, but I'm just going to get Stomping Ground, play Bird of Paradise, pass. If we draw a land, we get to pillage. And let's just click no there. If he plays a Glistener Elf, we can just bolt it. See what he's got. Maybe a Noble. Bird. Wow. Bird's probably the one I care about the least. Giving the extra mana is annoying though. He fetched a basic, which shows to me that he probably has more mana. With this pillage in hand, I'm wondering if we should just bolt his bird. I think so. Feels bad, but I'm going to do it. We don't have another land, but if we draw another land soon, we can definitely get out of this. Noble. And no land. Wow, it's so weird that he fetched basic. Land. Ah. Now we're in trouble. Because now he can go Blighted Agent or something. Ah, man. If we just drew land right there, then we get to pillage his land, then play Seasoned Pyromancer. He must have an infect creature here. Almost unquestionably. I'm expecting Blighted Agent. Noble, sure. Chose not to attack for 2, and okay. Got there. Let's destroy his land. He probably has a protection spell up for his creatures anyway. Pass the turn. Next turn, if he doesn't draw land, we can play Seasoned Pyromancer. So I guess the outcome is similar if we drew the land last turn or this turn. But I guess we could have played Seasoned Pyromancer this turn, and, you know, it does matter a lot. Missing our second land drop really hurt. I mean, he can attack for 2. Just don't care about that at all. He can get Seasoned Pyromancer down. Want to find some more interaction. I think Seasoned Pyromancer is definitely where you want to be in this deck. Also, if you can get down to 0 cards in hand. Ooh, Blighted Agent just cast. No protection. Man. This is rough. So now we go... Actually, I think maybe I just keep the Embercleave. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Because if I discard these 2 to Seasoned Pyromancer, I'm going to have a lot of creatures out, and I can just cast Embercleave. So I'm going to discard Pillage and Seasoned Pyromancer. Oh man, so close. Just missing. He might just be dead, honestly. Like, he only needs to pump for 7, and he has another land. Yeah, he's just playing so fast that I think he has the win. It feels pretty bad. Scale up. Pump spell. Kill us. There's just nothing we could do. We had to keep that on 5. Birds of Paradise, huh? I've seen that before. I don't think it's that good, but I guess it's okay. If he has another pump spell, this is pretty whack. If he's just like making us wait. GG's, 1-1. Let's go to round 3. I'll see you in round 3. Alright everyone, welcome to round 3 of this modern preliminary. We're 1-1 with this Ponza Stoneforge list. We're in JDM 037 and we're on the play. Yeah, this hand looks fine. It's a little sketchy, but I'm going to keep it. I'm even going to just get greedy and lead Arbor Elf. If he like Thought Seizes us, we can still cast Stoneforge. If he kills Arbor Elf, we can at least still cast Utopia Sprawl, and if we draw land, then we can still cast Stoneforge. I think it's worth. Just lead Arbor, pass, see what we're up against in the 1-1 bracket. Copperline Gorge, is this... Oh, it's Dredge. I was like, is this Jund? Okay, well actually drawing the land there was absolutely huge. Because we can just play a Chandra here if we want. We can play Stoneforge, leaving up some stuff. I feel like playing Chandra tick up is really good. I'm just wondering if that's better than like Stoneforge. Get Sword of Feast and Famine. They could have some blue creatures in Narcomoeba to block though. I think just getting a T2 Chandra down is better. I'm going to get basic, then I'm going to tap Temple Garden, add green, Utopia Sprawl the Forest, name red, add 4 mana, and then cast Chandra. Let's see if I can execute that line here. Utopia Sprawl, name red, add 4 mana, Chandra, plus Chandra, deal 2 damage to them, get Chandra up to 5, Sword of Feast and Famine. Unfortunately, we can't cast, and that might be one that we wanted, so that was a bad one to hit, but I think we still have a chance in this game. If he just puts a couple creatures into play, we might be able to just beat that. Especially with like an Ember Cleave or something. We have a lot of mana next turn. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. No hit. Merchant of the Veil, Blood Crypt, he missed. And activate again. And no hit. Okay. So he doesn't at least get to Dredge upkeep, but he could Cathartic here. No? Wow, he just missed. That's lucky for us. Now we have the Chandra going to town. Another land. Alright, I think I'm going to go land. Fetch. I think I just fetch for a basic forest. And then I can add some mana. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Because I'm probably going to just want to get this Bone Crusher down right now. And I want to add a bunch of mana. Because if I Chandra Plus, and here, let me just explain my thought process as I go here. Could get Stomping Ground. I don't really want to take more damage though. Actually, I think it's worth it. Okay, so Stomping Ground in play. So this is where I'm at. If I just Chandra Plus right now, I can't use Arbor Elf to untap this. But if I go add 2 mana, untap, and then plus Chandra, I can still cast all these spells. Cast any spell that I find. Magus the Moon. Alright, that is a decent one. He probably doesn't even have a basic to get. But I am going to cast Magus. I guess I'll tap this. Leaving up. Doesn't matter. I'm going to have 3 mana left over. I'm going to want to leave up Bolt. Doesn't matter. I'm going to play Stoneforge after Magus. So that was a good hit. I'm assuming he doesn't have a basic or he can't get a basic forest. Yeah, he can't get a basic. So that was interesting. I guess he just wanted to fetch to get another card into the graveyard. Oh, man, I just misplayed hard. Really hard. I needed to float white. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry for that punt. I think I just played Bone Crusher Giant. I could just stomp him, but man, that was such a bad punt. Just gonna cast Bone Crusher Giant. Ah, man, now we can't get Ember Cleave. That could certainly end up costing. He's just missing on Treecorn though, and hopefully he can't cast any more spells. So we might get lucky and win. Yeah, he conceded. Wow. Wow, we got so lucky. That was such a big punt. T2 Chandra, I mean, is really, really good. Let's see, we were on the play with the T2 Chandra, and now we have triple Rest in Peace. I had quad Rest in Peace before, but I was like, in a lot of the other matchups that I wanted Rest in Peace, I didn't want 4, so the only matchups I really wanted quad Rest in Peace was like Black-Red, Unearth, or Dredge. And I was like, if those are the only 2 matchups I want 4, it might be correct just to have 3 in the board. Let's see, is there anything else I want? I don't think you can really have any artifacts or enchantments in Night of Autumn that I would want Night of Autumn for. I think even though Klothys doesn't work with Rest in Peace, I still think I want it, because if I just happen to have like Klothys without Rest in Peace, or Rest in Peace gets killed or thought seized, having this is just still going to be worthwhile. I mean, Bolt is not that good. I could just side out 3 Bolt. Chandra is also not that great, even though like it was good there because we just had T2 Chandra on the play. That's why it was good. I guess I can side out Chandra and 2 Bolts. Could also just side out 3 Bolts and keep in Chandra. But I think I like having the cheaper cards. He's not going to have very many islands. I don't think I want Chandra. I guess this can Wrath the board. Most likely I don't think that's going to be a winning line either. think I have to win by like rest in peace. Alright, let's go like this. Got so lucky after that misplay. I don't know what I was thinking with the Magus. I needed to float white. Well, I can just learn from that and go from there. We're on the draw with a T2 Magus if we draw land. But if we don't draw land, this hand's not great. I think I can mulligan and at least try to find a T2 rest in peace or a functional hand. This is like where Bolt is not that good. I think unfortunately I have to keep. I mean, I have a T2 Stoneforge. Just not sure that that's going to be good enough. I have to just keep this hand, I think. I can at least Seasoned Pyromancer for... I can just Seasoned Pyromancer to find, like, rest in peace, potentially. This is not looking great, though. I guess I'll just put back Basic Forest. Sure. Could put back Bolt there as well, but I like putting back land. Another Bolt. This is why you want to side out these bolts. They're so bad. This is going to be getting Stomping Ground most likely. I'm just going to lead Temple Garden tapped. Could have been better to lead Arid Mesa in case we want to Bolt, but just cycle Forgotten Cave, sure. Looks like he might have kept a not so great hand. I guess if he has Cathartic here, we're just in a lot of trouble. Green, Life from the Loam. Yep. Arbor Elf right on time. Now I just have to play Stoneforge Mystic. Probably getting Batterskull. And then if he starts bringing back some 3/3s or something, at least Batterskull can buy me some time. I could also just get Sword of Feast and Famine, but I mean, making him discard's not that great. Yeah, then next turn I can go Bolt plus Batterskull, Violin Batterskull, or Bolt plus, or Arbor Elf plus Byron Batterskull. Lightning Ash discarding Thug on upkeep. That's annoying. Now he gets to Dredge. Is that 4? Yeah. Conflagrate. Ox. Yeah, it's going to be rough. We need to draw Rest in Peace. I can just Seasoned Pyromancer on this next turn. Discarding some bolts to try to find Rest in Peace. Okay. Take my turn. Draw Rest in Peace? No. So now I can just go Stomping Ground into Seasoned Pyromancer, I think. Pay 2 life, yes. And then cast this. Just gonna discard maybe Arbor Elf plus Bolt. I don't think I need the Arbor Elf at this point. Alright, well, there's a Magus. I'm not sure how much that does, especially considering he can Ox pretty soon. Cycle Forgotten Caves. Dredge Loam. He has a Prized Amalgam in the graveyard, so next turn he can Ox, Dredge, trigger Prized Amalgam. Hit Narcomoeba and another life from the Loam, and he has a Bloodghast as well. Yeah, this is going to be rough here. And I can't cast Batterskull next turn. I can cast Bird plus Magus next turn. I can like Arid Mesa for a forest or a plains. And then play Bird plus Magus. I can also play Bolt plus Magus. Ox comes back as a 5/3. So I could consider bolting it, but I don't really even want to do that. Bloodghast with this weird art. I like the other art better, I'd say. This art's cool, though. Pretty sick. And I'd be surprised if this was not an Ox. I think our games 2 and 3 overall are decent against Dredge, just because we have three Rest in Peace, and he might not even be expecting Rest in Peace. We haven't seen any hate for it yet. Couple of creeping chills. Yep, it's looking rough here. Another Narcomoeba, another prized amalgam. So he's gonna get 2 more amalgams here. He has a cathartic reunion or conflagrate as well. Cast life from the loam, it looks like. Go up to 5 cards in hand. Yep. So we can conflag for 5 next turn. So Magus isn't gonna even do anything. And he has so much power in play. I'm gonna try. Oh, there's another Seasoned Pyromancer. I guess I just don't need Magus at all. It's not. I don't think it does anything. So I'm just gonna lead on Seasoned Pyromancer. Discarding. I need to leave. I think I need to bolt the Ox this turn. So I guess I'm just discarding Bird plus Magus. There's the Rest in Peace. Might be too late. Just pass the turn. Leave our blockers back. Plan on bolting this Ox later in the turn so he can't flash, so he can't escape it again. But man, we're just in a really rough spot here. He might be able to just conflag us this turn for the win. We're at 9. It's really not looking good. Just found the Rest in Peace a little bit too late. If we had found it on that draw step of that last turn, we might have been able to go Rest in Peace, Bolt Ox, because then we'd be exiling Conflag, and then we have pretty decent blocks, and then we can come back with Batterskull. But now the way things are looking, it's looking like we're probably dead. Because he has Conflag for 6, and we're at 9. He's probably just deciding like if he wants to conflag our team. Oh, and he has another Bloodghast with haste. Yeah, we're super dead here. But the good news is he dredged almost 2/3 of his deck right now, and we haven't seen one hate card for Rest in Peace. So I'm going to mulligan to Rest in Peace pretty aggressively in game 3, because I think if we have that, we just win. As long as we don't mull to like 3 or 4. I bet you, like, if we're willing to mull to 5, I bet we have like a 70 to 75% chance to find Rest in Peace. Don't quote me on that, but the other day I was playing a Legacy League and I had 4 ley lines, and I really needed to find one in the matchup. And I had 4 ley lines in my deck, and I mulled to 1 and I didn't find it. And I was like, I gotta look this up because I don't know what the odds are. And the odds of finding a ley line if you mull to 4 when you have 4, if you mull to 1 when you have 4 in your deck is 97%. So I had a 97% chance to find, and I missed. Okay, I have 2 blockers here. If I go block, bolt, I have to fetch shock though. So then I go to 5, and I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm dead. GG's, just could not find Rest in Peace, but again, we haven't seen any removal spells for Rest in Peace. So he just might not think, he just might think that we don't have it. God, Bolt is pretty bad. Still think we want it over, just got kind of unlucky to draw both early, but I still think we want it over Chandra. Chandra just seems really bad. Alright, let's run it. I guess I could run Knight of Autumn just as like a 4/3, but I think Bolt is better than that too. Just really want to lean on Rest in Peace here. Would you like to play first? Yes. We did not find Rest in Peace. But we have a pretty functional hand of like a T2 Seasoned Pyromancer. His hand is like totally fine. I just don't know if T2 Seasoned Pyromancer. I mean, we're gonna have to like discard our other gas. I guess I could discard land plus like Bone Crusher, but then Glorybringer's not even that good. I just really need Rest in Peace. You know what? I'm actually gonna mulligan. This hand is totally fine, but I just think having Rest in Peace, we didn't see any removal for it. If we find Rest in Peace in like the next 2 mulligans and have a keepable hand, I think that if we just resolve T2 Rest in Peace, we're gonna win. Let's go for it. Alright, I have to keep this hand. At least we have a T2 Clothis. It's not a Rest in Peace, but I can't mulligan into Oblivion. So I'm gonna keep. I think I'm gonna put back Bone Crusher Giant here. And hopefully he doesn't have Dark Blast for our Arbor Elf. I think I'm going to lead on Fetch Shock for Temple Garden. I mean, I guess I could lead on Fetch Shock for Stomping Ground, and then I could fetch for Plains. I like that better. Could also get Forest here. No, I want to get Stomping Ground because I want to be able to untap a red source. Yes. Arbor Elf. Clothis doesn't necessarily stop him from dredging, but it can, depending on how he plays it. So Shriekhorn. Okay, Clothis does not stop that. Still might want to just get... Oh my god, there it is. Nice, that was so good. That was so lucky. So I definitely just play Rest in Peace. I'll just get Plains. Here. It's not misclick here. If he doesn't have an out to this, I think he's dead, because our hand is good. And I'm going to attack for 1. That pause is always what you want to see when you cast a spell like that, and they just pause. They're like thinking. That's always what you want to see. If they just like snap through it, they might have an answer, but when they pause, it's usually them thinking, "Oh God, I have no answers to that," and it looks looking good for us. Magus of the Moon. I mean, I don't think there's really a reason for me to cast that right now. Clothis doesn't do anything. And if I cast Magus, I cannot cast... I mean, I can't cast Bloodbraid, but... Actually, I think I do cast Magus, because I can still cast Stoneforge next turn. And this, if he does have any like naturalize effect, Magus will stop him from casting it. So a little bit awkward, but I still like our line this game so far. Bolt. Lightning Axe on the Arbor Elf. Okay. I mean, I don't care about the Arbor Elf. That's funny. Now I just go Stoneforge. I wonder what I get. I could get Sword of Feast and Famine. So this is, I mean, Embercleave allows me to hit for 6, Sword allows me to hit for 4. I mean, him discarding cards right now, considering we have Rest in Peace, doesn't help him. Could also just get Batterskull. But I think getting Sword is nice. I think the Pro Green is actually relevant. Pro Green Black is relevant. I mean, he's probably just super dead. If we draw a land, we can Violence, Sword, and equip here. Bird, we can't cast Bird. So now I'll just attack for 3 and play a Sword. Because that's all I can do. But again, we're just leaning on Rest in Peace, and I'm happy we were able to find one. Kept a sketchy hand with just the Clothis, but then true Rest in Peace. Opponent might just concede here. Probably just a... Okay, yeah, we got him. Whew. Still think that matchup is not great game 1, and we're able to get there with the T2 Chandra. And then we were able to find Rest in Peace in game 3. So good match, and we're 2-1. Let's see if we can get there in 4-1 this prelim. I'll see you in round 4. Alright, welcome back to round 4. And I kept this 7. Our opponent kept 7, cool 95 as well. And I'm going to lead Sprawl, or Windswept Heath into Forest, into Sprawl green. Or Sprawl on red. I had to come a few minutes late to this round, so hopefully the clock doesn't get to us. I'm going to pause since we had to take a couple minutes. Our opponent might have as well. I'm going to pause until they come back. Alright, go Forest, and then Sprawl here, name red. And then best case for us is our opponent like plays a Mana Dork or something that we can just stomp. If there's some other deck where we need to clock them, I can just play a Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, looks like we're up against Elementals, and he didn't have a play there. I think I do want to keep Bone Crusher Giant then. I think just putting this Sprawl on a different forest seems good to me. Maybe not. Because I can just put it on here, name white, and play Stomping Ground. I mean, I can also just play Bone Crusher this turn, but I don't really want to. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to go fetch. I should have used Wooded Foothills because then I could get a basic Plains with Windswept Heath. Just another misplay here. It might not even be a misplay. We might want these lands in hand for some reason. We'll just see how the game progresses. I'm going to get basic Forest. And then I'm going to Sprawl here. I'm also going to name red. And then I'm going to pass the turn with Stomp Up. It may be better to have just played a 4-3 there, but he's most likely going to play a 2-drop, and hopefully one that I can stomp, and then I'm in a good position. Now he's going to name Elemental and play a 2-drop. Yep, that's definitely something I want to stomp. And now I'm going to untap and play Bloodbraid Elf, another Bone Crusher Giant. Let's just cast Bloodbraid, Cascade, Magus of the Moon, perfect. And now he does have red cards, but we're in a great position now. So I can still cast these Bone Crushers. We have green mana, so everything's looking good. He's on mountain. Oh, there's a Vial. Okay. Vial pass, and we can just Bloodbraid. So that's great. Guess I'll just play a land so I have another Stomp Up. Play another Bloodbraid. I guess hitting Seasoned Pyromancer would be ideal. Birds, I guess not even that bad. Gives us white mana. Opponent just concedes. That was super quick. So we're just against Elementals. I mean, Knight of Autumn kills Vial. And if I kill Vial and Magus him, I think it's pretty rough for them. That being said, I'm not sure that plan is good enough. Because I could just keep the main deck as is. I think we're pretty good in this matchup. Like, maybe this is worthwhile because killing Vile is pretty huge, especially in conjunction with Magus. I think I'm going to try it. Maybe I don't want 3 knights though. Maybe just like 2 is fine. And I can set out like Clothis and 1 Seasoned Pyromancer. Sure, let's try it like this. Just thinking, actually, do I want the 3rd knight? No, I don't want to be flooded on that effect. 3 mana 4/3 is not like exactly where I want to be. If we're killing Vile and at Magus, it's great, but I don't know if we want to like just go too deep down that road in this matchup. They really only have Vile. Alright, well, definitely keep a T2 Magus. Our opponent kept as well. They kept a kind of a weird hand in game 1. Just another tap land to start. Super interesting. I'll just lead Sprawl, name Red. We have the plains in hand. And then T2 Magus, T3 Bloodbraid Elf. Draw's looking good. I guess you could have a Smoke Braider. We don't have a removal spell for that yet. Smoke Braider would definitely be bad. Most likely he has that. Name Elemental. Does he have the Smoke Braider? No, looks like Voice of Resurgence. Perfect. So hopefully we can walk him out with this Magus. I think I just play Plains and Magus. He has to have like Dismember, or I don't think he has Bolt or any like red removal spells really, so. Some of their creatures are red, but a lot of them are a bunch of different colors. You can put an elemental from your hand onto the battlefield. It gains haste and sack it at the beginning of the next end step. Alright, well, you can do that. Maybe we can Bloodbraid Elf into something here. I guess I'll just play Temple Garden, Bloodbraid Elf. And then I can play Batterskull next turn. Another Magus. It's actually decent. I could even attack for 5 here. I don't hate that. He can trade with Magus here. And then I have another Magus. Maybe it's not worth, but I think it is. Wow, he snap walked. So maybe he has some type of removal spell that he could draw into for this Magus. I'm surprised he blocked there though. Like I was saying, I know a fair amount of his creatures are red. Yep, and there we go. He can deal 6 to Magus here. Maybe that was a punt on my part. Seasoned Pyromancer. I want to just play Batterskull. And then next turn I can even just equip, and then that might be kind of hard for him to deal with. Or I don't even need to equip, I can just attack. Do I want to attack with Bloodbraid right now? I think no. But now this game gets a lot tougher because I chose to make that attack. That was probably wrong. Just really not that familiar with elementals, to be honest. I knew he had some red creatures, but forgot about Spite Bellows. Is that the card? Yeah. And now he can cast anything. Should have just played it a little safer with my Maguses. I was just worried about him. I mean, I guess he could have just activated this anyway, but then he would have needed 2 removal spells for both of our Magus. Risen Reef. Okay, he's doing his thing now. I mean, he could have put that in, but then it would die at the end step. Phantasmal Image or Risen Reef. Okay, yeah, it's going bad for me. This is exactly what his deck wants to do. Utopia Sprawl. So I need to I'm just going to attack. If I just attack with Batterskull, I'll probably just block with Voice. No, I'm actually just going to attack with both, then play land Utopia Sprawl into Seasoned Pyromancer. That way I just discard one land and I get to draw 2. I can't equip right now because I need my mana. I could not attack with Bloodbraid, but I think this is fine. He's going to trade, take 4, get a 3/3. Oh, yeah, I forgot that was an elemental as well. We're probably just not going to win this game now. He's just going to go too far over the top with all these Risen Reefs. I just punted. Thought we had it locked up, and then now it's not looking good. Go Seasoned Pyromancer, discard a Sacred Foundry, draw 2. Did not draw well. Now I'll just sprawl here. Guess I just name red. And then pass the turn. You can just draw so many cards with these lands that he can find more elementals and just go off. I'm not going to be able to come back from that, I don't think. Needed to draw some removal for those Risen Reefs. Triple Risen Reef now. Yeah. That's what that deck does. It's really centered around Risen Reef. Still think this matchup is decent for us. He has like all non-basic lands. We have removal for Risen Reef. We could potentially still win if we draw Glorybringer or Embercleave. Or I guess even Stoneforge Mystic then. Because I can Stoneforge Mystic into Embercleave here. I have a lot of mana. But now it's looking pretty rough. He's just drawing so many cards. Hitting extra land drops with these Risen Reefs. Really going off with Reef. Now we can put, what is that card? The Destroy an Artifact Elemental on top. And draw it with Risen Reef. And cast it and kill Batterskull. So I'll just concede here, I think. Definitely punted this game. I was just thinking if he has this, he can still just like get a bunch of value by putting in like cards like Risen Reef or just like I wasn't sure anything else that can balance or deal with my Magus that he might not be able to cast, but then it just didn't work out for me. Oh, he's just attacking for 7. I mean, I can just block and then equip and attack. Sure. Bird. Alright. Let's just start by equipping and attack. Just block with voice here, trigger, get another voice token. I'm pretty dead. I'm gonna keep trying. He's at 10. If he just like gets too greedy or misplays or something, I might be able to just draw Glorybringer and win. Or just start getting in there in the air with this bird. Go land, bird, pass the turn. have Batterskull activation up now, but he also has 2 elementals tokens that are going to get massive this turn. He has 10 cards in hand. I think there's almost no chance. I am at 30 though. He's at 10. If he attacks here, I might actually just block because I get to gain 6, and then I'm going to equip Bird anyway, and then I can activate Seasoned Pyromancer as well. Lightning Skelemental, sure. I guess I can always yield to these Risen Reef triggers for now. I just hate the possibility of losing to elementals. I think that deck is just not good. Another Skelemental here. Okay. Can he just play like 3 or 4 Skelementals? Alright, he's got a basic. It's a basic mountain. Another Skelemental. Yep. No, I wonder, I might not even be dead. He could also get to the point where he'll mill himself out due to these Risen Reefs. So if we can gain enough life, we might be able to stabilize. He's at 18 cards in deck, so he can't play that many more creatures. And I'm at 30. Oh no, here's the... when it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals I control. Okay, we're just dead. He can just hit this Seasoned Pyromancer here. And then kill us. Risen Reef, yeah, he almost drew his entire deck there. Pretty impressive. He's also at 7. How much mana do I have? I mean, I'm straight dead right now, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then how much is he hitting for? If I block one of these, I'm taking 18, 19, 30. Couldn't activate Seasoned Pyromancer, didn't have enough mana. So he did his thing there. It's all about Risen Reef, huh? Chandra could rat the board, but I don't think that's really where I want to be. I'd rather just bolt or bone crush or stomp his Risen Reef. Still think I want 2 Night of Autumn. I think that's fine. I think killing Vile is pretty huge. I think Clothis is a little slow. Let's just try it again. We're on the play this time, so T2 Magus on the play is huge. Just feels so bad losing to that deck. I have a T2 Stoneforge Mystic. T3 I can put in Batterskull. I don't have any removal either though. I think I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I mean, T2 Stoneforge just doesn't seem that great in this matchup. Like, I can T2 Stoneforge for... Maybe I just have to keep this. Alright, I'll keep. Because I can T2 Stoneforge for Embercleave, put in Batterskull, I can Seasoned Pyromancer, put in Embercleave, and Embercleave Batterskull might be enough. Plus, we can just draw a removal spell, or we can T3 Seasoned Pyromancer here, so... I think I just have to keep this hand. I'll probably just lead on tap Stomping Grounds and then Windswept into Plains. Then I can Wood it for a Forest. He kept 6. This hand's not ideal, certainly. There's a vial. Alright, stick to the plan. Just going to Stoneforge for Embercleave here. Try to get that going. Try to use the ability, yes. Get Embercleave. Pass the turn. Let's see if we can Embercleave somebody finally. I haven't really had a great Embercleave game. In match 1 of this league, it was okay, but oh wow, he doesn't have a land, so if we draw Knight of Autumn, it's just insane. And Bolt is great as well. Wow, this is interesting. So I can Violin a Batterskull. I can also just play Seasoned Pyromancer. I think just Violining in Batterskull is better. I'm just going to go Wooded Foothills pass. He puts a counter on Vial. Hopefully he just misses on land one more time and then we're just like super far ahead. Because I can Violin Batterskull and then Violin Embercleave equipped to Batterskull. So let's see, if he doesn't have a land, we're just in a great spot. Put in Batterskull. And then I'll fetch. I guess I just get, I can get a basic forest, but I think I just get another Stomping Ground. Then untap, another Stoneforge. It's actually fine. Let's see, I'm only attacking with one creature. Am I going to want to play another Stoneforge or leave up Bolt? Let's just start by attacking and vialing in Embercleave. Attack. And then before blocks, activate Stoneforge, put in Embercleave, hit for 10, gain 10. Put in Embercleave. I mean, this is why it's in the deck, right? This is pretty insane. Attach it to a creature I control. I'll attach it to the Germ. Not sure what hand he kept over there. Maybe his hand was good, but now I can just play Stoneforge or leave up Bolt. I think playing Stoneforge is good. I'm going to do it. I guess I just get Sacred Foundry. I guess I just get Temple Garden. I have another mountain in hand. Temple Garden. Pay 2. Yep. Play Stoneforge. Get Sword of Feast and Famine. Pass the turn. Unsettled Mariner. Okay. I think I was more scared of Smoke Braider. I don't think this card is that good. So he can put in... No, he can't put in Spite Bellows because that only costs 3 to evoke, but I think it costs 6 to cast. Okay, he just concedes. Whew. I do not like losing to Elementals. I don't think that deck is good. He also kept a really sketchy hand there. Luckily we were able to get there. We were going to go Violin Sword, Equip, Bolt, hit for 14, double trigger sword. So Embercleave, that was pretty sick. 3-1, and I'll see you in round 5. Hopefully we can 4-1 this. Alright, welcome back to the 5th and final round. Let's see if we can 4-1 this and get 40 QPs. We're against Tay Metal 22. And we're luckily on the play. Good hand? Yeah, looks good to me. I'm going to keep. If our bird dies, we're in a bad spot, but I'm going for it. We have a T2 Magus, not going to mull that. If we draw any land, we can cast Sword. If we draw a red source, we can cast Seasoned Pyromancer. If he doesn't kill our bird, again, we can cast Magus. So, I like where we're at. Hopefully our opponent leaves Snow-Covered Island Astrolabe. It's what we want to see. But I think this deck has a lot of good matchups, actually. Surprised we haven't actually played against Snow more. Oh god. Mountain. Oh, Goblin Guide. That's also not ideal. Land? It was Arbor Elf. I mean, casting a Magus against Burn really doesn't do much, and we cannot cast Seasoned Pyromancer. We're unfortunately drawing Arbor Elf. Our opponent has 5 cards in hand. I was thinking, I wonder if there's any way casting Sword of Feast and Famine is correct. Because then he has to kill Bird. Otherwise, I get to go equip and untap my lands. And he has to discard a card. But if I play Magus, I at least most likely get to block Goblin Guide. I think I just have to play Magus. It's really bad, but unfortunately, just this isn't the matchup for Magus. Just not gonna mulligan this T2 Magus, but hopefully Goblin Guide triggers, draws us a land, and then we can start casting these powerful spells. Like next turn, if we draw a land, we can go like Arbor Elf into Seasoned Pyromancer into Glorybringer. That could win us the game for sure. Plus, I'm hoping to just be able to trade Magus for Guide. Worst case, he goes like Bolt Magus, attack us. But even then, this gains us 3 life. Rift Bolt and Goblin Guide. 2 lands, 1 time. We revealed Chandra, which we cannot cast. Man, that's brutal. Now I just can't do anything next turn either. This draw just didn't work out. I have to block though. So he knows about Chandra and Arbor Elf. He's got 3 cards in hand. I just have to play Arbor Elf and pass. It's really bad. He's even got a Rift Bolt on suspend. Yep, kills our Arbor Elf. I wouldn't be surprised if Bird's going down as well. Helix. Yep. Land 1 time. Okay, there's a land. Still can't cast spells that matter yet. Alright. Well, I unfortunately can't cast Seasoned Pyromancer because of the way we drew our lands. But I'm just going to get Mountain, play Sword, pass, even though it's really bad. Just not looking like we were going to win. His hand could be bad, though. Doesn't look like it. I was thinking if he had like 3 or 4 lands in hand, that would give us a chance. Plus, to get any red source, we're going to have to take damage. Take 3 damage. So we're at 10. We're going to have to fetch Shock to get another red. So if I go Seasoned Pyromancer, make 2 tokens, going down to 7. I think that's worse than Chandra. So I go down to 7, and I most likely just die. This is a rough matchup. We have some good sideboard. But I kept a hand with the potential, like, just T2 Magus. And, I guess killing Goblin Guide's better here. And it just didn't work out in the matchup. Our opponent led Bloodstainmire. I thought he was on Jund, but yeah, it looks like we're just super dead. If he has anything. Yep. Kind of expect to lose game 1 regardless. Opponent had a decent draw, and ours just didn't really come together there. Get to bring in Beowulf plus triple Knight of Autumn. So that's definitely some good cards in the matchup. And like, what don't we want? Chandra is a little slow, kind of hard to protect. And set out all these Magus. Even though they can get there, they just die to everything. Maybe I keep it in Chandra. I could bring in a Pillage over Chandra, but I guess Chandra still kills something relevant. This just kills a land, which most likely isn't going to do anything. So I'll just side out 4 Magus for the 4 gain life creatures. And, you know, we also have Stoneforge for Batterskull, so let's go. We also have Clothis. We have like a lot of ways to gain life now. I think we're in a pretty good spot. I mean, I know we're down a game, but don't hate this matchup. Okay, 0 land, can't keep. I'll keep this hand. We have a turn 1 bolt into T2 Stomp into T3 Seasoned Pyromancer. Guess I'll just put back a Windswept Heath. And then I'll go Arid Mesa pass. Hopefully he leads like Goblin Guide. I guess it doesn't really matter if he leads Goblin Guide or Swiftspear, but I would expect him to have one of those, yeah. Okay, so do I want to fetch before the trigger? I think so. I'll just fetch in response to the trigger. That way, if I have a land on top, I just get to draw it from the Goblin Guide trigger right now. But if I fetch after the trigger resolves, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think this is better though. And then just bolt this. And we hit the Windswept Heath, so that was good. And now I just go, I was going to say Wooded Foothills, leave up Stomp. Let's think about this carefully. I want to take as little damage as possible, but I only have 1 mountain in my deck. So I'm going to have to fetch shock if I want to play Seasoned Pyromancer next turn. I think I'm just going to play Forest. Pass. Hopefully he has another creature we can stomp, like another Goblin Guide or Swiftspear. It's not ideal. Wonder if we just want to go stomp here. It's pretty bad. Might be better just to keep it. Not do anything right now. I mean, I don't think I can just pass and just let him burn us out. I'm going to go for it. We're going to put some power into play next turn. Okay. Here's Utopia Sprawl. So now I can go... This is actually really good that I mean, it's not really good, but it is good. So I go fetch, get another basic. And then I sprawl up. Sprawl up a forest named Red. Play Seasoned Pyromancer, discard these 2 lands. I think this is the line. Glorybringer, another Seasoned Pyromancer. Not bad. I also played this because I wanted to get it out of our hand, just for like this type of scenario. Alright, Searing Blood. It's a good one. Not much we can do about that though. Although if we draw a land, we can just Glorybringer next turn. Lava Spike, we're at 12. We've got to gain some life. Alright, I'm just going to play Glorybringer. Start attacking. I don't have the luxury to get a white source. because I can't take any more damage. Go Glorybringer attack. No exert. And then Boros Charma or Helix us down to 8. Okay, we got to draw a gain life spell. I wasn't able to get a white source. We're just dead. Looks like it. Wow. What a hand from our opponent there. Sometimes you just die to burn. That was not a very good way to finish off this prelim, but is what it is. Died super fast to burn. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is youtube.com/natbolt. We'll get up next time. I still really like the deck. It's definitely what I would reg if the Pro Tour was tomorrow. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to continue to play it moving forward, and hopefully we'll have a little bit better results next time we play. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time.